Welcome to everyone to the session of test of significance for large sample. So already we have seen the distribution in which we have discussed binomial, Poisson and normal distribution. So today we are going to see the topic test of significance, in which we are going to learn the topic sample, population, null, alternative hypothesis, critical region, type 1 and type 2 error, level of significance, testing of hypothesis procedure, statistical table, and simple problem using large sample test. So what is meant by sample and population? So sample, it means a finite subset of population. So the number of individual in a sample, which is called sample size, and it is denoted by small n. So here the diagram says out of this population I have taken only the 5 sample for testing. So it means here the sample size is what actually small n, the population size is capital N. For example, the current scenario, the corona affected people have been taken as a sample among the population world. So what is a population? It means the group of individual under study, which is called universe. It may be finite or infinite. Null and alternative hypothesis. What is meant by null? It claims no difference and it is denoted as H0. Alternative hypothesis contradicts to the null and it is denoted as H1. So here some example is given based on null and alternative hypothesis. So from this diagram, the application of biofertilizer X do not increase plant growth. So see here, there is no changes in between these two plants. So it means no difference. That is nothing but null hypothesis. But see, from this alternative hypothesis, there is a slightly difference between these two plants. So application of biofertilizer X increase plant growth. So there is a difference. It means that is an alternative hypothesis. So the hypothesis is very important. Why it is so important for any researcher? Basically, as we understand, it is an assumption. So normally we say my hypothesis that today it might rain, or I can say I have hypothesis that this new medicine will work better than the old medicine. So these are all basically, that means the thing has not happened and we are trying to predict the value using this hypothesis. So the hypothesis are playing important role in testing. One tail and two tail test. This is under alternative hypothesis. It has two types, one tail and two tail. See from this diagram, so whenever U is greater than the particular hypothetical value or U is less than the hypothetical value, we used to follow only one tail. This is called right tail test. This is called left tail test. Suppose if we do not know anything, like mu is not equal to hypothetical value, it means we need to follow only two tail test. So these are all some example for one tail and two tail here. From this experiment, for 40 randomly selected customers who ordered pizza for home delivery, he includes both an old and new style. So here some ranges are given -10 to +10. I mean the customer rate of the customer rate. So where -10 may be a strongly favor, then +10 may be strongly favor for new style. Anyway, here mu is greater 10 or mu is less than 10. So it is based on one tail. When it comes to next example, the dog will eat more very happily. Yes or no? This is based on yes or no type. So whenever it is yes or no type, you just follow two tail hypothesis. But here see, the dog may eat more or eat less, depends on the mode. So here you have to use only one tail, eat more. Maybe mu is greater or mu is lesser. So you have to follow only one tail test. Critical region. A critical region is also known as the region of rejection. So the region of rejection, it must be minimum So normally the statistician they'll consider 5% region of rejection. So clearly the diagram shows the acceptance region is 95%. The region of rejection from the right and left tile 2.5%. So the region of rejection, it must be minimum, that is 5% level. It is a set of value for the test statistics for which the null hypothesis is rejected. It means alternative is accepted. Type 1 and type 2 error. So this is another important sampling errors. So here the clearly is given. See here, the accept null hypothesis, reject null hypothesis. Here it says true and false statement. When null hypothesis H0 is true, we are accepting. It means that is a correct region, correct conclusion. Null hypothesis false, we are rejecting. It's a region of rejection or correct conclusion. But where it is type 1 and type 2 error? See here, null hypothesis true, H0 is true, but we are rejecting. That is one of the type 1 error. Then H0 is false, we are accepting the H0. That is what actually another type 2. For example, the basket of 100 apple we have. So you want to check whether it is good or bad. So I have taken 5 sample of apple, I have tasted and I have found okay, the remaining 95 were very good. I'll accept all the 100 apple based on the 5 sample of apple. But there is a chances remaining 95 apples are very bad. So here accepting bad lot, that is what type 1 error. Suppose the same basket I have taken 5 apple, I have tested and tasted. At last I found that was not tasty, so I have rejected. There is a chance the remaining 95 may be good apple. So here good apples are rejected. This is another type 2 error. So these are all example for type 1 and type 2 error. So statistically we can say when H0 is true, rejecting H0, that is type 1 error. When H0 is false, accepting H0, that is another type 2 error. Okay, level of significance. The maximum allowable probability, that is alpha. So normally as a statistician they used to consider the minimum level of significance like 5% or 1%. So by setting the level of significance at a small value, we say that the probability of rejecting true null hypothesis to be small. So commonly used 5 or 1% significant level. So this is a table they have given based on the intervals. If it is 95% of the acceptance level, it means 5% rejection. If it is one tail, 1.645. If it is two tail, 1.96, and so on. Similarly for 99 and 90% from the large sample test. Next. So the 5-step procedure of testing of hypothesis, this is very, very important. So before doing problem, you should learn this 5-step. If you know this 5-step, very easy to solve all the problem from large and small sample test from testing of hypothesis. So first you have to set the null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis. So fix the hypothesis based on the problem, then set a suitable significance level, that is alpha. It may be 5 or 1% level. The next third step, test statistics. So here only you have to use all the calculation part. So in test statistics we'll get the calculated value. It is a very important So next we need to find table value. Table value you have to collect it from the normal area table, that is a table. After that you have to give the interpretation based on the table value and calculated value. Finally we'll take the decision making. So this is very important here. See here, finally at last, if the statistical table value is greater than the calculated value, then accept H0. So which value should be greater? Table value should be greater. If the table value is greater than the calculated value, we can accept our assumption of H0. Thank you.